Hello. I welcome you to another Friday tonic. How was your Easter celebration? I know you enjoy it. The Passion Week, the Good Friday, the Easter Sunday, Easter morning. You had a fantastic time with family, friends. And I know our Muslim brothers are still on the fasting time now. I pray that the grace of God shall always abide with all of us. I am Josephine, anchoring Languages, an academy of knowledge economy. I release videos twice a week. Friday like this is just a Friday tonic where we speak about germane, very important topics to our lives. On Tuesday is for my core teaching as a digital professor. Today, I'm continuing on what I started on Friday tonic about, I think 2 or 3 Fridays ago, talking about workplace. And I'll be talking today on 4 key components of ethics in a workplace. I'm also going to talk about unethical behavior in workplace and take you down to some questions I've penned down for you to ponder on your own or with others in your workplace. A workplace is a community. Today's video might be a little bit longer than the others because I want us to really look at this ethics and ethical behavior in a workplace. Workplace is a community. And there's nobody is not working somewhere. Either you work virtually or you go physically to that office, you have a workplace. Be part of that community. And then we should be able to know about some ethics that we should really observe and ethical behavior that we should put on and we should be known with in such a workplace. I welcome you back. That's Languages. My name is Josephine, and I welcome you once again to our Friday tonic. Because of the importance of today's topic on ethical behavior and 4 key components of ethics in the workplace, I'm going to share a PowerPoint presentation with you. And I want you to take your pen, to take your paper, to follow me. If you are looking at me or viewing me from your workplace, it will be so important to invite your workplace members, either your fellow employees, to watch with you. Because every one of us, if you're an employer or an employee, is going to benefit a lot from today's talk. Just come along with me. 4 key components of workplace ethics. That's what we are looking at today. I'd like to start with a brief preamble. Workplace ethics for good employees are embedded in basic godly living. What am I saying? I'm saying that the areas deal with the very basic of living out one's religious faith. Whatever religion you might profess, there are certain ethical behavior that is expected of a godly person. Ethics or personal values is a critical issue in today's workplace. And people without personal values cannot value God or others. Services rendered at work translate to services rendered to God. That means if you are godly, you work in any workplace as if you are serving God. So if employers and employees fail to follow high standards of conduct, organizations cannot prosper. Organizations cannot thrive. And it's when organizations or companies thrive and prosper that you yourself, as employee or employer of that particular organization or community, we enjoy that community, that workplace. So for me, workplace ethics means to conform to accepted and especially professional and godly standards of conduct. To conform to accepted and especially professional and godly standards of conduct. The components, number one, is integrity. There's no way we can oversize on this. We need to re-emphasize and continue to emphasize integrity. When you search the dictionary to find the meaning of integrity, you get words like soundness, moral, soundness of moral, principles, and character, uprightness, honesty. But integrity means living by the laws, both God's laws and those of the society. Do you uphold the rule of laws? Either the law of God or that of your society or that of your workplace? Integrity presupposes that there is a standard and a desire to live by it. There is no workplace that hasn't got some laws, either bylaws or the rules they expect their employees or their staff to abide with. So a person who lives by integrity, we aim to do right and to wrong no one. His conscience will be clear toward God and toward man. A clear conscience, uprightness, honesty. That is all embedded in what is known and called integrity. Integrity of character, integrity of purpose, integrity of a person. The second component is accountability. You need to be accountable to someone. And being accountable means you are taking responsibility for your actions. That means showing up on scheduled work days, as well as arriving on time and putting in an honest effort with the job. Be accountable. Integrity, accountability. The third, teamwork, is a workplace. You work for a goal in a workplace. And that goal is to ensure that your organization, that your company thrive. So you work in a teamwork. And a vital aspect of the work is working well with others, from peers to supervisors to customers. Though some employees might not like each other. I'm not saying you should like each other by force, but you must learn how to work with each other. You need to set aside personal or work-related differences to be a team player. And the fourth one is commitment. Commitment, that is when you know integrity, accountability, teamwork. Then the last component is commitment. Dedication is very important. When you talk about commitment, I'm talking about dedication. Despite possessing the necessary qualification or skills for that job of yours, it is essential you possess positive attitude toward that job to move the organization forward. Having mentioned those four key components of ethics: integrity, accountability, teamwork, commitment. Now, let me go and mention some unethical behaviors, carrying rumors. Either they are true or not true. Either they are unfounded, either they are facts, or they are manufactured rumors. Passing it around. It's the same thing some people do on social platform too. Somebody sends something to you on your platform or your WhatsApp or whatever. You didn't bother, you won't cross-check it if it's a true or so. You pass it to so many others. And later on, you discover that it's not a fact or it's not truthful. Carrying rumors, it can ruin an organization. Rumors does not make an organization or a company to thrive. Misrepresenting working hours. When you sign for that job of yours, you're supposed to be at work from 8 to 5 or 7:30 to 4:30. Make sure those are the times you are there. If you work later, more hours, but don't say, okay, you're supposed to resume at 7:30 or if I get there 9, 10, I will still do what I'm supposed to do. You're misrepresenting working hours. Lying to colleagues and supervisors. Some people just know how to lie. When I used to head an organization, a quality control assurance department in those years, I have a microbiologist whose first name is Lie and second name and last name because he lies so much. Even when he comes to tell you, good morning or good afternoon, you need to look at your watch to be sure. This is somebody who only because he wanted time off, lied that his mother-in-law passed on. When that mother-in-law was alive, hale and hearty, and he came to the work because he wanted to take permission from me, said, oh, I just lost his mother-in-law, and he had to travel. And because he wasn't even at home for days until his wife came to work and we was looking for him. And we were sympathizing with the wife. I'm sorry. Oh, sorry you lost your mom. Sorry your mom is dead or your mom transited. As I said, whose mother, please? That his mother is well back home. There's nothing wrong with his mother. So lying to colleagues and supervisors. Misuse of employers' assets. Are you somebody who just take for granted that paper, that A4 paper or any paper that you have, either they use it in your company for either to print out things or to write things, you can take them home to use them at home for yourself. Or that staple pins that is meant for the office as a stapler, you can take it home to use for yourself. Misuse of employers' assets. It's also include telephone. If your company has a phone, that company telephone, your organization phone is for business in the office. That's not the phone you should be using for personal conversation, personal conversation with your girlfriend or your boyfriend or just anybody, and you'll be talking, not just for few seconds, but minutes, hours. And someone is trying to reach your office on important something that is so critical to that company, they can't get in because of your phone is busy. That's the why you are chatting on that phone. Or you are using company's time to chat on your WhatsApp. Something you can do after working hours. Falsifying records or facts. Use of social networking sites on your employer's equipment and time instead of your own personal time. Disclosure of employers' confidential or proprietary information. Office secrets should be kept in that office, not discussed at home or discussed among friends when you are partying or when you are in that club of yours drinking. I know some staff find some specific dilemmas at workplace, like perceived discrimination, You perceive somebody is discriminating against you because of your race, because of your gender, because of your ethnicity. Perceived harassment, like sexual harassment, fear of repercussions, increased resentment, reduced productivity, health and hygiene concerns. Maybe you fall sick most of the times and people are using that against you. Difficulties in discussing problems and ineffectiveness. Some people are slow learner. And because you are not getting it on time, you are not so effective, and you feel they are discriminating against you because of that. Yeah, positive attributes of a good employee that deserves clapping. You check yourself as an employee. Do you have these attributes? Do you smile often? Laughter is medication, you know. Do you smile as you walk? Do you have friendly disposition? Are you friendly to others? Do you share? Maintaining peace in a workplace. I know some workers can be garrulous. Some people have this attitude, either caustic tongues or they have this attitude of conflicts. They are always they're confrontational. But if it's left with you alone, why don't you maintain peace? Are you generous? Giving. Sympathy. Do you sympathize with others? Concern, honesty, integrity of purpose, helpful, commitment, hardworking, initiative, genuine service, going the extra mile, and mentoring. Do you mentor others in your working place? I would like to conclude by saying that good character, good service delivery, good workplace ethics only become personal when such a person is spiritually formed. Honestly, it takes humility and loss of pride. Perhaps nowhere is God's way in greater contrast with the world than the area of pride and humility. Are you upholding the world view of pride, self-force? Because the word teaches that for you to be great, to be fulfilled, to be successful, you must put self first. But Jesus says, this is totally wrong. On the contrary, he says to be successful, great, and fulfilled in the true sense, you must put God first and live in humility before him. You check this up in Luke. That's why I share my PowerPoint so you can take notes or you can read for yourself. Be like the Bereans and not like the Thessalonians. Read Luke 14:11, Matthew 23:11-12, and 1 Peter 5:5-6, and see what Jesus is teaching us about pride, about humility. God exalts or honors those who humble themselves. But those who show kind of pride, they know what God does for them. God abases them and humble them. So the choice is yours. The choice is ours to fit into the formula where we desire. Where do you fit in? Where? Do you fit in egocentric pride? Or do you fit in humbling yourself so that God can exalt and honor you? I have some key questions. I say for discussion, you can get back to me. Either through comments or sending me mails, or you can call your teammates in your workplace to discuss the question with them. Do you have any positive experience that describes your workplace as an inclusive environment where employees and employers can openly discuss the impact of religion or belief on employees? I mean, it's a question for you. I don't know the kind of workplace you are. Have you experienced a number of few negative issues in your workplace? You know, I mentioned certain dilemmas. I mentioned certain discriminatory tendencies. So have you experienced a number of few negative issues in your workplace that are attributed to the view of anyone that religion or belief is a private matter and should not be discussed in the workplace? As any employee reported that requests related to religion or belief issues are not always fairly dealt with, and there should be better guidance on how to achieve this. Question 4. Is there a proper balance between the freedom to express religious views and the right of others to be free from discrimination and harassment in your workplace? Question 5. What do we call someone without integrity? Do you call that person a hypocrite or two-faced? Also, I want you to ponder on these questions also. Ask yourself, is this ethical behavior? We are talking about ethics, and I've spoken about unethical behaviors. So ask yourself, is this ethical behavior? 1, is it ethical to take office supplies from work to home and use it for personal use? 2, is it ethical to use office time to solicit for personal business or interest? 3, if there are slight defects in the administration, are you obligated to inform on them? 4, is it ethical to make personal long-distance calls from the office using office phone? 5, is it ethical to use office time for personal business, like doctor's appointment without permission? You know you have this appointment with your doctor, or you know this appointment, a meeting with somebody fixed for your own personal business, and you just take time off in the office without taking due permission. Is it ethical? For these questions on ethical behavior, I have 10 for you. I've dealt with 5. There's the 6 to 10. 6, how do you differentiate between a bribe and a gift? 7, if you exaggerate your credentials in an interview, is this ethical? You know, some of us, when you are being interviewed for that job, because you want that job very, very, you desire to have that job, you just even need to. Then you exaggerate your credentials. So I'm asking you, if you exaggerate your credentials in an interview, is this ethical? And this even go on to add about age. I know a lot of people falsify their age. Very few people in the workplace who find them, the age they declare is not their real age. It's after some people have retired, they are now coming around when people are asking, no, this is my real age. What do you mean by your real age? And this one is not it's an official age. Your age should be your age. That means the time of your birth, your date of birth. So, is it immoral to do less than your best in terms of work performance? Are transfers that break up families a breach of ethics? I need you to even ponder on this more. You know, some work, your employer at times may decide to just transfer you without due attention to your family background, to the kind of family you are. And then they not just once, they transfer you maybe regularly from one place to another. Are transfers that break up families a breach of ethics? And the 10th and the last ethical behavior question is, how can organizations like yours foster ethical behavior among those working for them? I want you to ponder on these 10 ethical behavioral questions. Answer them yourselves. Get others in your workplace to answer. And if you want to discuss, get in touch with me. This is all for today's Friday Tonic. I wish you a wonderful weekend. Join me on Tuesday for another core teaching. Have a blessed weekend. Thank you.